What's going on, beautiful people? Let's talk about the top 10 most expensive banknotes in the world. Now, with the rise of digital currencies, many fear that banknotes will disappear over time. However, banknotes are worth millions of dollars in the world of bill collecting. So if you're not into collecting bills, check out my other videos where you can look through your pocket change and find things worth a ton of money. Now, yes, the bills are worth far more than the numbers printed on them, depending on their age and rarity, of course. Let's take a look at the top 10. At number 10, the 1918 Alexander Hamilton $1,000 bill from the United States. The 1918 Alexander Hamilton $1,000 bill easily sells for around $8,000 at auction, depending on the grade of the note. So that's up to 10 times its printed value. There are only about 150 of these still in existence, so they are extremely rare. The $5,000 and $10,000 were also issued in the same series, but the $1,000 note is the highest available denomination to collectors. The $5,000 and $10,000 denominations are only found in museums. The thing that makes the 1918 Alexander Hamilton series so rare is that it features a dollar sign. At number 9, the 1929 Bank of New Zealand £100 bill. You might not know this, but New Zealand had the pound system up until 1967. All the bills were printed in Europe and then shipped over to New Zealand. That's how it worked until the establishment of the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, which started printing notes locally. The 1929 £100 bill has a portrait of Maori King Tauhaui. It also has the production date written on the top corner. The banknote was last auctioned about 2 years ago for over $11,000. At number 8, the 1368-1369 Ming Dynasty banknote. So what makes this Ming Dynasty bill one of the most expensive banknotes in the world? Well, it's its age and the historical significance of this note. The 400 cash banknote was released between 1368 and 1396 in China. It is one of only two in large formats to still exist. When it went up for auction in 2017, the opening bid was $58,000. This note had a final sales price of well over 70 grand. At number 7, the 1948 £1 million banknote. Most of the banknotes in this list fetch a much higher price at auction than their face value, but the 1948 £1 million banknote is that exception. This fetched about $150,000 in an auction in 2011. The £1 million banknote is one of only 9 still in existence. So if you want to buy one of these, there are 8 of them still out there, but make sure you bust out the money. The Bank of England released them in 1948 as part of its Marshall Plan to boost its economy. At number 6, the 1908 20 Rupees Zanzibar banknote. The Zanzibar 1908 20 rupee note is the world's most expensive African banknote in existence. It was printed over a century ago, and there are only a small number of these left. It is coveted for its intricate design and its extreme rarity. This note was sold at public auction in 2012 for $225,000. At number 5, the 1817 modern 10 shilling banknote from Australia. The first banknotes in Australia were issued with the opening of the Bank of New South Wales in 1817. 110 shilling notes were printed on the very first day. The first 10 shilling banknote with serial number M00001 is highly sought after in the world of banknote collecting. The 10 shilling note with this serial number sold for $755,000 and is the first ever modern banknote of Australia to be one of the world's most expensive banknotes. At number 4, another Australian note, the 1924 £1,000 banknote. Now, this is by far the most expensive Australian banknote ever sold at auction. The £1,000 bill came out in 1924, and it was in circulation for only a short time before the government restricted its use to internal transfer of money between banks. So that's what makes it so rare. It was purchased by Australia's The Rare Coin Company in 2008 for display for $1.2 million. At number 3, the 1882 $500 gold certificate. This is the only $500 1882 Federal Reserve gold certificate in existence. Besides another specimen that's housed at the Smithsonian Institution, this banknote has a crazy history behind it. Its rarity is coupled with the story of its survival, and it makes it incredibly desirable to pretty much any collector. It was one of the first banknotes printed in the United States, and it was discovered following the execution of a turn-of-the-century's banker's will. The banker had near-mint collections of banknotes, some of them dating back to the Civil War. It's quite surprising how these bills survived more than a century in mint condition. And yes, they were stuffed at the back of a cash drawer. The 1882 $500 gold certificate was last auctioned for $2.3 million. At number 2, the 1891 Red Seal $1,000 banknote. The 1891 Red Seal $1,000 note is a treasury note and was auctioned for $2.5 million back in 2013. Before that, it was sold for only $1,300 in 1944. There are only 2 surviving specimens of this note in the entire world. Most people in the US haven't seen any bill larger than $100 because the $10,000, $5,000, and $1,000 banknotes were discontinued all the way back in 1945. The 1891 Red Seal $1,000 note depicts Major General George Gordon Meade, who fought in many battles during the Civil War. Last on our list at number 1 is the 1890 Grand Watermelon $1,000 bill. This is an absolutely famous bill. The famous 1890 Grand Watermelon $1,000 bill is by far the most expensive banknote in the entire world. It was auctioned for an astounding $3.3 million in 2014. It gets its funny name because the large zeros on the note were designed to look like watermelons. It was issued between 1890 and 1893, and it is one of the rarest banknotes in American history, and the rarest one on this list. Let me know what you think about the top 10 most expensive banknotes in the entire world, what you think about their cost, what you think about their design, and most importantly, which one is your favorite? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you there, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.